I can't give you tips right now because I don't really know what you're doing, but my overall strategy is this. For the reading, read. After you read, diagnose how well you read, how well you can map the passage. Read it once, flip over the packet, do not look at it anymore. Diagnose yourself, like, hey, in the top left, what came out? In the middle left, what came out? In the bottom left, what came out? Top right, what came out? Middle right, what came out? Just like jog your memory and see how much you actually remember, and then compare it to how well I remembered that passage. I'm not a perfect science reader, especially for biology and for geology/astronomy. I kind of struggle, but my maps are still pretty freaking good, even though I'm not good at those topics, right? So see how well you remember the passage. Now, if you don't remember it very well, and if it's actually pretty atrocious, you still have 3 weeks to improve your ability to break down passages. So I strongly recommend pause. Don't do the questions yet, okay? And reread the passage, but this time annotate the shit out of it. Like, spend as much time as you have. And like, if you don't understand vocabulary, like look up the vocabulary and learn the concepts. Maybe you're weak on biology, just like me. Then go look them up. Make like a Quizlet, make like a vocab list of just biology terms, so that you can at least remember what I don't know, like microbes are and shit, right? And study that topic that you're weak on, and use these passages as a gateway to learn more about those topics. But not only the topics, also breaking down the actual passages. Like, oh, this is actually background information. That's what that's doing, right? So there's background information at first, and then there's the research studies, the aims of the study here, and then there's the design of the research here, and then there's the results here, and then there's like the complicating or confounding factors here, and like break apart the passage into pieces that kind of cohere, that they connect with each other, right? That what all the parts are doing. Like if you're good at math, so I assume you might not be an engineer, but I will assume that you understand how engineers think to some extent, right? If you build like an engine, right? The parts all synchronize. They work together. Sometimes there are redundancies for safety and backup purposes, right? But generally speaking, there are parts with well-defined roles, and they play a certain role in that engine, right? And they do things together, to produce some sort of whole effect. In this case, like to produce like an acceleration. It's the same thing with these passages. Go back and be like an engineer and kind of figure out what the different parts are and how they cohere, how they work together. And then test your map of the passage again. Cover it. See if you can remember better this time, and you should be able to, and then go into the questions. And then once you go through the questions, see how many you got right or wrong. The usual questions and answers, and you can just do the question review like you're probably doing it okay, I assume, so I'm going to skip that part. But then after you finish, if you didn't do that well on the questions again, right, then go back to the passage and study anything else from the passage you didn't understand, okay? Review the questions first, but then go back to the passage and figure out like the terminology, the phrases, the whatever, the transitions, right? Like figure out what it is that you didn't understand the first time, and make it so that next time you read a similar passage, your map of the passage will be better, okay? Focus on improving your map of the passage. That's my entire approach. That's the whole strategy that I talk about. Improve your map of the passage. Once you improve your map of the passage, you should be able to reduce a lot of the time that you waste on just like pointless process elimination. Like, okay, I guess I should double check A and B and C and D and read these very long answer choices, find one thing to eliminate. Fuck it. If you know the answer, just go for the answer, right? Now, obviously it's a balancing act. I do process elimination too, obviously, but like you want to not only be relying on process elimination. That's like playing basketball and only playing defense. We're gonna win by not letting them score ever. Like what is that? You know what I mean? Like you have to play offense. You have to score. So go score. Know the passage. be able to map it and be able to predict the answer to the question stems, not having to do process elimination. I mean, that's my whole strategy. I even think that international students, you're gonna hit a max. I don't think you can get above 650 if you're gonna keep relying on that crutch of like, oh, questions, please tell me where to look, right? Oh, questions, please save me, because I don't know how to read. So question stem, answer choice, you have to teach me how to read. Please tell me where to look. And you're just hoping that the questions and the answer stems, please, am I supposed to look in line 13? And then, so, answer choice A says line 13. So you look at line 13. Oh, I guess that's the wrong one. Oh, I eliminate A. Look at answer choice B. Oh, so answer choice B, am I supposed to look in line 32? And then you go to line 32, right? This is the begging approach. You're begging the questions and the answer choices to tell you where to look. Please, 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 please. Question, please tell me where to look, right? And you're hoping that the question stem and the answer choice will let you know. And guess what? They will. The easy ones will tell you where to look. But you get all the easy ones. What score are you going to get? The best score you're going to get is 650. You're not going to go over 650 because then you're going to get to the hard ones. And the hard ones are going to test your ability to map the passage. It's like, I don't really care whether the question stem or the answer choice is telling me where to look. I know where to look. I saw the question stem. It's a big inference question, but I know exactly what it's talking about. It's in the bottom left. I'm going to go to the bottom left. I'm going to refresh my memory of what it said, and I'm going to come back to the question and I'm going to predict the answer. This is no longer begging, right? Now this is you telling the question, hey, I'm going to tell you the answer, right? You're telling the question the answer. And that's where you want to be. Now, obviously, if you're just at 500 and you're just trying to get to 600, you don't need to use my strategy. Like, why put yourself through that much stress? You know what I mean? It's so much stress. But if you are, if you're trying to jump from 600 to 700, good luck with good luck begging the questions to tell you where all the answers are. Good luck. I hope you can get a 700. I hope that you get lucky on test day and you barely understood the passage just enough, but more importantly, the questions and the answer choices, they told you where to look and you got it, and bam, 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 you got your 700. I really hope you get that 700, although I think it's very, very risky, right? But you tell me you're trying to get 750? Fuck that. There's no fucking way in hell that the question stems and the answer choices are gonna get you to 750. No way in hell. You have to know how to map the passage. There's you have to be able to predict the answer. You have to be able to look at the question stem and tell it the answer. I know the goddamn answer. You have to be able to teach the test the answer, and then be like, oh, okay, C, the answer choice C, you're saying the same thing that I'm saying. So we agree, I'm gonna choose you because we agree. And then you move on to the next question. Why? Because you already knew, right? You knew it. You wanna get to that point by the time, if you're aiming at 750 for sure. So, and even if you're aiming at 700, I do not think you can get above 650, at least not reliably, if you're begging the question stem and the answer choices to tell you where the answers are. That's not the way. And obviously, other YouTubers will say different things. Other teachers will say different things. Other books will say different things because they're gonna make it sound like you can look at the answer choices and you don't have to beg. You can be a boss. Yeah, it's answer choice. If answer choice A and C, they both use these words, then you can cross out both of them, right? They're gonna make it feel like you can be the boss of these answer choices, but you can't. Those are just dumb probabilistic games. You're just playing these dumb statistical games And you're eliminating things based on not understanding anything. You're eliminating things based on superficial appearances. And that might give you some confidence for like a week or two, or maybe 2 months even, right? But like at some point, you're gonna realize that your score doesn't go up. Your score doesn't go up when you play statistical probability games, right? Your score only goes up if you actually know what you're choosing. So it makes me upset when kids get overly confident based on these probabilistic like choice games, right? And so I do think you need to kind of lay off on those. Like eliminate anything that says X. Like no, just eliminate that advice, you know what I mean? Your strategy should not be statistically, this word has never come out on SAT. So I'm going to eliminate this one. Well, now you're at 33, 33, 33. Well, I mean, come on. Like, come on. Like, how much is that really helping you? Are you seriously going to get a 700 or a 750 with that logic? Like, seriously? Not really. So, I don't think there's really any way around it, okay? My belief is you got to map the passage. You got to map the passage. Actually, I think that was a really good rant. I'm really happy with this rant, and I probably... Anyway, I'm going to end the stream, but guys, I'll see you in the next one. And until then, keep on learning, keep on growing. Thanks for all the questions. Peace.